This next little news item is not little at all. It's pretty big. I have a lot.
Cool. We have 10 minutes.
I have a lot to read about. So stop me when you want, because I don't want to just ramble on and on. But I'm going to talk about over these last few months these games that are being released with like broken multiplayer and stuff like that.
Okay. Oh yeah. Okay.
So these last few months, like an alarming number of games have been released with a lot of problems, some worse than others. The PlayStation 4 exclusive Drive Club, which was delayed a whole year, it was like actually in a launch game. That's what it was supposed to be.
You were really excited about that one too, right?
Well, I don't have a PlayStation, so.
You just thought that it had a lot of potential for a game.
No, I mean you might be confused with Project Cars, and
You're right.
that one's gonna be sick as hell.
That was what I was thinking.
Project Cars. They couldn't come up with a better name.
How original.
You gonna get your pants down and poop on something again, Forrest?
Hey, we haven't gotten to that part yet.
Anyway, so Drive Club got delayed a year, and then when it released, its multiplayer suite was unfunctional, and which rendered a large portion of its features unusable because it had like this social drive thing you're supposed to use. The Halo Master Chief Collection got released last week, and multiplayer was broken until today, basically.
Chase has
awesome.
been in a riot.
I had so many people telling me, like, dude, you got to buy Halo. If Kevin Moshelle's listening,
Yeah.
screw you, Kevin. I hope Halo's been sucky
Are you
for
saying that it's working today now?
Yeah,
or-
they finally patched it, and it works now.
Kid's been freaking furious.
How does it just not work?
You were more patient about
was
this than
contained.
you could have been. Yes.
Moving right along.
Like you couldn't get a game or
Yeah. You would be stuck in matchmaking for literally like 10 straight minutes. And then if you actually did get into a game, sometimes it would freeze. Sometimes it would lag you out. Other times, players would get dropped.
It's just embarrassing. Like, how do you screw that up?
Yeah, it's unacceptable.
Yeah.
This is kind of where that's headed. So Call of Duty Advanced Warfare was also plagued with multiplayer lag, especially on the PC side.
Okay.
A lot of people had a lot of problems with that. And Far Cry 4 suffered from multiplayer problems and a lot of bugs in its campaign. Mm-hmm. But the biggest fiasco by far was the release of Assassin's Creed Unity.
Well, what do you expect? Those games are terrible.
Those games, I don't like those games either. But have you seen a lot of the memes and stuff online from this?
No, but I'm sure I will on Reddit in the next few days if it's a thing.
Well, so basically, when this game launched, players were falling through levels. There was frequent freezes, and NPCs would like show up in cutscenes without a face.
Good. That's what you get if you buy Assassin's Creed Unity and think that game is going to be good.
Anyway. Getting away from the negativity, as we could come to expect from Forrest.
That's why I'm here, man.
I know. It's good. I hate
We're
positivity.
too positive.
Hey,
on
I've
the
been playing
show. We
Dragon
gotta
Age
bring
lately.
some-
Dragon Age is awesome.
I can't wait to buy
I can
that
rave
game.
about that in a positive way if you want.
Anyway, so these shaky launch with I'm going to focus on Unity here,
Okay.
to sort of shed light on like outside pressures that can sort of make, because we wonder like why are these people releasing these broken games?
Right.
And so like I'm going to try to show the other side of things that might kind of lend an ear to that.
Like defend that?
Not defend, but like tell you why. And
Okay.
I still think all of this is unacceptable.
Okay.
Absolutely. And we
As long as that's prefaced.
yeah, and we can talk about why it is as
Okay.
well. So over at Polygon.com, this opinion piece was written by a guy named Colin Campbell, who is just a brilliant like writer that I always follow his stuff on. And he basically outlined all these outlying circumstances. And he starts by saying that yearly franchises, especially ones like Assassin's Creed that are like these flagship games, they can easily hit a decline year over year, get like worse and worse Metacritic scores. And so it's imperative that these companies like Ubisoft consistently make them better to combat that. And you would think, especially this Unity game, which was set in the French Revolution, and Ubisoft is a French company, that they would be incredibly
an
resilient,
emphasis,
to make this like the best Assassins there was. And of course, when the thing releases, like, okay, we'll patch it and we'll fix it later. But a patch can't really fix this like word of mouth reputation that's been done.
Yeah, that's harsh.
Because in like talking about the memes online, like it blew up on the internet. Videos of these horrible bugs, tons of memes making fun of the game, and like once that general perception of that is released, it's over. Done with.
Yeah, I mean it's downhill.
So he points out to the fact that Ubisoft is a public company. And this year specifically, they've earned $600 million of their projected $1.7 billion fiscal year. Okay?
Damn.
So that means that they're really relying on a stellar holiday season to bring them their projections. And Assassin's Creed is the biggest mainstay in their holiday lineup.
Oh, that's
They
rough.
they also had Far Cry 4, but Far Cry has never done numbers nearly as big as Assassin's
Far
Creed.
Cry looks so cool though.
Oh, it looks amazing.
Are they still trying to push Watch Dogs? Game was also terrible.
I mean, it just came out on Wii U. That's about it.
Don't buy it.
I didn't.
Okay, don't. Yeah, because I hope you like Assassin's Creed because it's the same game.
So basically, with this fiscal year stuff, the game company was at odds with their shareholders. They can either ship this game with problems like they did and suffer this huge reputation blow, or they can risk damaging their reputation with shareholders. And so he also points to the fact that Assassin's Creed Unity doesn't really have a AAA competitor in the realm of historical fiction. So they kind of have room to breathe when they release a game that's sort of subpar.
Yeah.
And that is what is surrounding them releasing this broken game. Now, it doesn't excuse it being broken, and it's infuriating to me that people spent $60 on a game that like basically doesn't work, especially with these other ones like multiplayer problems like in Halo. People took work off on Tuesday and played like 3 games. That's insane.
Again, that's what you get for
What, being excited?
for taking work off to play Halo.
Well,
dude.
I mean, that's not the
I
point.
remember kids stayed home from school when Halo 2 came out. I would have never been allowed to stay home from school.
Sorry your parents weren't cool.
But I mean, this kind of plays to theory versus theory, stakeholder versus shareholder ideologies, where it's like we should be doing things that basically are going to make the shareholders happy, regardless of what the outside implications will mean on the society, on investors, on just everything else that are not shareholder. Or there's a stakeholder theory where it's like our business should basically be pushing its actions forward in order to not only satisfy our shareholders and the people that are involved with the business, but also everybody that is affected by what is done by the business. So I'm a much more stakeholder person. I basically believe that when you're a business entity, you have a lot more at stake than just what your shareholders get out of it.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't think that there should be... I don't think that there should be a polarization between are we just going to release these games early and they suck and then repatch them, or are we going to release them later and then everyone, gets pissed off because they weren't early enough and our shareholders didn't think. I mean, there should be definitely a middle ground there.
Well, what would the middle ground be? Because
better production planning, just be better business overall, streamline your shit.
Here's the deal. I mean, the Assassin's games have an annual release.
Yeah, there's
that's
no
part
love
of the
in those
problem,
games.
probably. I mean,
But here's the deal. Here's how it works: is they have multiple studios. So one studio is actually working on the game for like 2 to 3 years, and then when it's their turn to release, they're actually releasing the year after whatever some other studio did.
right? Okay.
So they stagger it.
So
like
they stagger it. But
Okay, that's fine. But I mean, apparently not efficiently.
But here's what I'm saying is there's plenty of games that get delays, and there'll be 3-month delays, a
Okay.
year delay, and that might mean a better game. That means more time for polish, fixing these bugs.
Hopefully.
And when it comes out, exactly, hopefully, I mean, with Drive Club, who knows what underlying problem, a year later they still couldn't get it out right. But there's a lot, there are attitudes that sort of highlight what you're saying exactly. There's people who are like, they get so infuriated when they have to wait these extra times for these games, and then like the hype will die, which affects sales numbers. And then there's the people who are like, you know what, dude, take your time because I like this and I like what it looks like and I want it to work. Mm-hmm. And they clearly went the former route. Now, it's also a little unfair because, we have these always online machines basically where pretty much everyone who buys these consoles are hooked up to Xbox Live or the PlayStation Network and they can get these patches. Mm-hmm. But guess what? There's people out there who don't do that and they can't
I would be
patch,
one of those people.
They can't patch the game.
I don't know how to do that stuff.
I mean, it would do it automatically for you.
Oh.
But if you didn't have an internet connection, your game would never be fixed.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. That's BS.
Exactly, right? Anyway, I just find what it sucks. That is what is becoming like how we're going to describe this year of releases, where all of these like really promising games that came out with just terrible launches.
Right. Tanked.
We're at a crossroads now where internet's getting to the point where it's almost everywhere. You can get Wi-Fi almost anywhere, and there's things like was it like Google Fiber or whatever the like hot air balloon thing is. You know what I'm talking about. So like you remember Xbox One tried initially to make their stuff so that you had to be connected to the internet to use it at all.
Backlash.
Yeah, of course, and that's understandable, but they're
I never took.
I backlash.
their heads were in the right place. We're just not there yet to support that.
Right,
But they're thinking, toward the future, and that's good.
Mm-hmm.
So, the fact that, these games can't be fixed if you don't have an internet connection, that does suck, definitely. And
it's a minority for sure.
Yeah.
But to also speak to like minorities, it's really only 1% of players who are experiencing these like horribly laughable bugs. But the magnifying glass of places like Reddit is what is destroying reputation. But also 1% out of like 13 million, that's a huge number of players. So that has to be taken into consideration as well.
It's 130,000.
And it's hard to get, and it's hard to like get a hold of, if you're a victim of that, so to speak, it's hard to get a hold of the company and say like, hey, what the hell, like what's wrong with my game?
You can't return it and get your money back, basically.
And like some games have been good about this, like for all the stuff Bungie got wrong in Destiny, they have a very good presence on Reddit. And there's this guy named Deej.
The community manager.
Yeah,
yep.
He just listens, and they try to fix problems. I'm not saying that they're not after your money with their DLC, because they are and stuff, but they do listen.
I mean, they're a business.
Yeah, they are, and they do listen, and they've fixed some things. So that's good that a company like that does that. But Ubisoft, they're very impersonal. I don't think they care if people.
They also shoehorn in a lot of their own platforms like Uplay and stuff.
Yeah, I hate any of those.
In
like,
Assassin's
accounts.
Creed Unity, there's like these treasure chests that they put in places where like you're gonna see them and try to open them, and it's like, to open this treasure chest, go apply for or go sign up for Uplay, and it's just like,
Don't forget to follow us
you're
at
gonna
Witty
spend
Banter Show on
3
Twitter.
years
And
making
shoot
this
an email
incredibly
over to
believable world
wittybantershow@gmail.com.
and then pull me out of the experience by doing like by making me go to my
BS
computer,
treasure chest.
and the second I'm on my computer, I'm just gonna get on Twitter anyway. So what are you doing?
Like in a similar scenario, I bought Dragon Age, and like just like Mass Effect, the decisions you made in the previous 2 installments affect everything. But I've jumped a system generation between the last 2 games. My account's different now, so what I had to do was I had to go to some website. I built this tapestry thing where this
was like an elegant fix to that.
Yeah, I got to fix or pick every decision I'd made in the past games. It was cool. I didn't remember a lot of it, so I just was like randomizing a lot of it. But some of the major ones, I was like, oh yeah, I've romanced this character or killed that guy, whatever. And so I did all that, spent maybe an hour on it, and then tried to link my thing to my EA Origins account. Couldn't do it. I'm playing in the default world on Dragon Age 3,
man.
and it's fine. It's whatever. But
modern games
service is terrible. EA Origins account, like no one likes that.
Well, it's because they're trying to do their own Steam, basically.
Yeah,
but that ain't gonna work.
All
right. Well, that's all the news we have.